Hello, I'm reading 80, and today I am doing my video in a different room, as you can tell. Normally I do it in my fiance's office. However, I got my new laptop, which you can't tell because I'm recording on the laptop. So now I can record my videos up here while my fiance's at work. But I have finished Dark Water, finally, after only been reading it for 2 months. Um, just things have been going on in life and makes it busy. So let's get to it. So the book started out with Erica trying to find drugs buried underwater to nail down a Jason Tyler, and they found him along with a small skeleton nearby in a bag held down by weights. So I was interested in seeing who would kill a child and why they did it. I forgot to mention the plot of the book, which is finding out who killed 7-year-old Jessica Collins. I her last name. But yeah, she's, trying to find drugs at first, and then she instead finds a 7-year-old missing girl who went missing 26 years ago. And so she's trying to figure out, who did it and why. The classic whodunit. But yeah, so I was interested in seeing who would kill a child and why they did it. So we find out in this book that Erica had gotten pregnant with Mark about 7 years ago, and she did terminate it. I like that they wrote that in, because a lot of times we don't really see women, terminate their pregnancies in media, which I think more should, because not everybody wants kids. But Mark was her husband who passed away before the series started. It was about 2 years from that time that he died. Because we see the 2-year anniversary in, I think, the first book. Or maybe the second book, I don't remember. So we go into the view of Jessica's mom, Marianne, and it was sad, of course. It's always tough losing a child, I'm sure. It didn't help that she was religious. So their only suspect in the original case, 27 years prior, was a sex offender, and had kidnapped a child previously, but had an actual alibi for Jessica's case. He harassed Amanda Baker, the original cop on the case, and she tipped off some vigilantes, and of course he survived, but he was able to sue the cops, which is stupid. And he ended up, I can't remember how much they said he won, but he ended up investing it and ended up getting rich, which was freaking stupid. But yeah, so he was supposed to die, obviously. He got horribly burned, though, so there was that. He deserved it. Which I think was kind of definitely justice, because it's kind of hard to go and seem charming to a child when you're hideously burned. As they were talking about locations, they mentioned a Preston Road, which I thought was cute. If you don't know, my fiance's name is Preston, so that's why I thought that was cute. Maybe there's a Pamela Road out there. I'm sure there is, I don't know. I think maybe Crawford could be it. It'd be unexpected, kind of, and he is a bit awkward. Or he could just be an awkward type of man, I don't know. So Crawford was... They have, different hierarchy. I'm not sure, because this was based in a different country. But he was basically called some kind of cop, I guess. They said PC. I don't know. I'm sure it's something obvious I'm just missing. I tried to look it up, but my phone was being stupid that one day. That I tried to look it up, and I just never did again. Because this is taking place in, London, I think. Uh, oh, my screen kind of messed up, and my camera is not. It's probably working, but on my end, it just shows kind of like a picture. We'll see. Anyways, but Crawford wasn't it. He ended up not being it. So, he was just an awkward type of man. And it's awful what losing a child will do to parents. Because we put Marianne and her ex-husband, Martin, that was his name. They put them together, and they ended up just fighting a lot. And it's just always sad. Marianne could be less homophobic, though. Yeah, her son, Toby, is gay, and she is Catholic. So, Amanda Baker was done wrong. She was the original officer on the case, and that, before that, she had all the rape cases because she was the only woman on the police squad, and basically broke down after the Jessica Collins case. She ended up losing her job, became an alcoholic. It was sad. I felt bad for her. I think she deserved better. She kind of picks up though, because whenever they find Jessica, she is basically inspired again to do detective work. So I thought that was good. And then I think whoever killed Jessica will kill Amanda. And then Erica keeps thinking about having kids in the book. It's sort of annoying. Don't hate me. I was hoping for some more representation after hearing how, she aborted. Oh, dog playing with the toy. I was hoping for more representation after hearing how she aborted because she didn't want kids. Which it's not like the whole book she's just talking about having kids. It's just, and given the case, I kind of understand because when they mentioned that she had an abortion, they mentioned that had she kept the kid, it would have been 7 as well, which is the age that Jessica was murdered, and so it kind of, I guess, made her feel some things, which I get. Erica and Peterson had sets. So they always, kind of, I don't know, Peterson is kind of a flirt in the books. There's really not much to it, but in this book they started getting closer, and they finally had sets. Unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, it was sad because Erica, is a widower. I forgot what it is. But, widower. And then, she, keeps thinking about Mark, and so it's very sad. But she did end up, going through with having sex with Peterson, who was her coworker. She basically pawns it off as like a one-night stand, though. And then afterwards, they didn't really have time to talk, so I'm hoping that they will talk in the next book. In the end, we see him and Moss together as coworkers, not like together. And Moss was just like, you fell for her, didn't you? He was like, yes. So I'm hoping that will play out better in the next one. And sadly, I was right. Amanda was killed. Super sad. And then so was Crawford, which is how I knew it wasn't him. Well, that's why I couldn't figure it wasn't him. And then I said, I wonder if Jessica was Laura's kid instead. And she was. So Laura was the oldest daughter of Marianne and Martin. And then Laura had Jessica at 13 years old. At like some Catholic, she didn't have her. She got pregnant at like some Catholic, can't even say the word now, camp. I guess like Bible camp is basically, which from what I hear is not that clean. Oh man. Okay. Hopefully this is still recording the way I want to. Oh. But yeah, so Jessica was Laura's kid. And Gary's, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Gerry. I'd say Jerry, but we see his mind in the book, and we really have no idea who he is. We know he was hired by, or supposedly hired by somebody. So I figured he was just that. Later. Anyways, I figured it was just that. Sorry, just wondering what my dog was doing. I figured it was just, some random guy who was hired and to help, cover up Jessica's murder by the murderer. Which is kind of true, but he's the dad, so. Okay. Jessica wasn't murdered, which was the twist in the book. A huge twist. It was an accident. Laura had kind of kidnapped her. I don't know if it's really kidnapping, if it's your daughter, supposed sister. I guess technically it is because she, I guess technically it is because nobody knew that she took her. So Jessica goes missing on her way to a party, a birthday party, another kid's birthday party. And Laura knew she was going to go to the birthday party, so she knew that they would let her walk there alone, because this was like the 1980s, and it was like 2 blocks, or a couple of blocks. So Laura stops her, and then with her boyfriend Oscar, who we have heard about and we had met in the book, and then Oscar doesn't know that Jessica was her kid. He thought that, she had permission to take her sister and go camping or whatever. So he started out as innocent, not for long. But, and then Jessica didn't tell, she lied to Marianne and told her that she was going camping, like the day before. So she thought, she was already gone. So that was their alibi. Nobody even thought to, look into them because, they did, but, they, got the alibi. So it was like, okay. And then, so, they're in this, caravan or whatever, and they were told that it was going to have electricity, but it was really, it was this generator thing that was ran by Patrol, I think. Daddy's really having fun in there with that scooter. Anyways, where was I? It's basically ran by, Patrol or something, and it stunk. It was, fumes and all that. It was basically, they didn't want it outside or inside. I wonder if I can find it. Oh, top. Yeah, so they come the next morning and Jessica was inside, they thought sleeping. But they noticed the generator was off or something like that. And then, Patrol fumes, that's what it was, yeah, that was right. Anyway, so they go and check on her, and they open the door, and it was thick with smoke and fumes. They moved the generator because it was on uneven ground outside. Okay, never mind. So it was still outside. So they didn't move it in, but they moved it, and they didn't want the wind to blow it over for it to topple. They just didn't realize that they moved it up against a vent near the front of the caravan. I'm not sure what a caravan is. That's probably dumb of me, but oh. And it was opposite where Jessica slept. So she'd been locked inside with the windows closed, and it was filling with fumes. Which, Oscar had flung all the windows open, tried to get the air circulating again, but it was too late. So yeah, it was basically just one huge accident. They didn't purposely move it up to a vent. They just didn't know. But Oscar then finds out that, because he disappeared for a couple of hours. So I guess he went somewhere. I guess to a drink or get a drink or some. I don't even know. But anyways, he finds out that Jessica's missing and it's everywhere on the news. So he comes back and he's like, "What the heck?" And so then. So then, she tells him the truth that Jessica is hers, and he is also they were in college at this time, and he was studying to be a lawyer, and he was black. So he said so himself, like, it's a black man in the 80s. He's not going to be treated that well. Even though it was an accident, So they were scared. So they didn't tell anybody. And problem is, they killed Crawford. They killed Amanda. Did they kill somebody else? No. But yeah, they killed that. Yeah. So it was like, well, all that. And then Oscar killed himself. Because, they got caught. Everyone got caught. And Oscar, had a wife and kids at that point. And he was supposed to be a judge, or, well, he was like, it was supposed to be next in his career, I guess. But yeah. So he killed himself. And then Jerry got caught. Because I think he wasn't a pedophile. Oh, and they killed Bob. That's who it was. So yeah, they killed 3 people. Bob Jenkins, who was a homeless man who was squatting away in a cabin next to where the quarry or whatever where they found the body. Ironically enough, had they just, because Oscar and Jessica buried, or not just, Amanda, goddammit, Oscar and Laura buried Jessica there, where they were camping. And it was somewhere outside of town. I don't remember where they said it was. I don't even know the area, so it didn't really help me anyways. Nobody would have known. But Laura here did not feel right that, Jessica was buried miles away from home, which is fair. I mean, had she just told the truth, it wouldn't have been that bad. But, well, I mean, maybe she would have, I don't know how that would have worked. I mean, it was the 80s. I don't know if she would have gotten in trouble, but definitely not as bad as now, considering 3 people were dead and not by accident. But anyway, so then I forgot what I was gonna say. So she lets Jerry know that they had a kid, because they were 13 at the time, so she didn't even tell him, because it was basically just a one-night stand, anyways. at 13. But that's what happens when your parents are very religious and strict. But damn computer, it unfroze. I hope it wasn't frozen the whole time, because on my end, the little camera here was frozen on an image of myself. I wonder if you can see Dottie. There's a little dot dot. It's probably a little small on this camera. Anyways, what was I saying? Basically, that's when she let Jerry know. So he comes and gets the kid, and then, throws her in this water. Is it Saber? It's not. It's like some quarry. Hayes quarry. That's what they're. Oh, I stopped my. They throw her, or. So I guess that's when Oscar helped him out. Excuse me. So Jerry and Oscar gets the body, throws her in the Hayes quarry. And then that's when Bob, because the cabin was near that area, that's when Bob gets killed because he saw them. Amanda was close to figuring out the case. She was close to figuring out that Jessica was Laura's. And Amanda was making Crawford help her, who's basically bribing him, or I forgot the word. Oh, holding hostage. Oh. No, she was bribing him to help her, so he knew. They figured he was close to figuring out too. And then Jerry and Oscar had tapped into, their phones. That's how they knew to kill him. They also tapped into Erica's phone, and they went to go kill her. However, her sister had came to visit. So her sister and the two kids were, 3 kids. 2 kids and the baby. Erica's niece and 2 nieces and a nephew? I think so. Anyways, they were there, and then Erica was mad at them. Or, well, the sister, not the kids. And so she had stormed out, and Jerry didn't know that. But Linka, I think was her name, Lenka. They're from like Slovakia, so I don't know how to pronounce that name. But she fights him, so he gets away, and she lives. So yeah, they did try to kill Erica, though they just didn't know. And it was dark. It was the middle of night or so, like 3 in the morning. And so the sisters kind of look alike, so they didn't know that it wasn't Erica. But yeah, anyways, so enough of me rambling. I am out of notes, and that was my thoughts on Darkwater. This was also my bookmark, just because it's so pretty. I love it. It's kind of childish, but most of my bookmarks are because they're super old. Next, I will be reading Last Breath, also by Robert Brinstad. I have, how much? I've got 3 more books of this series, unless he has came out with more and I don't know it yet, which I'm hoping, because I kind of don't want this series to end, because I really do like Erica Foster. So I'm hoping to get the Last Breath review out soon. Hopefully not in 2 months, like this one was. Stay tuned for Etsy's Live and I's video. It'll be the end of the year book review. We've been doing the monthly reviews, or not review, well, monthly book checkup pretty much. Which next year will probably be moved to this channel, because when we started it, I didn't have a channel. And mine's the book ones, and his isn't really the book channel. So it'll probably get moved over to mine. But go check it out on Etsy's Live for this month. We will be talking for the whole year, what we've read all year. And we'll probably be talking about our goals for next year. So subscribe, like, and share, and subscribe to Etsy's Live. Subscribe or follow us on TikTok. Same names, Reading EB and Etsy's Live. And Happy New Year!